This conference will now be recorded.
Once again, thanks for joining. Good morning or good evening from wherever you have joined. So this is Satish, and I also have another trainer, Ram, and we both are going to conduct this session for the Selenium for performance testers. Okay.
Hello,
So,
hi everyone, and welcome to the course.
Thanks, Ram. Okay, so today I'm going to provide a overview and walkthrough on the entire topics that we are going to cover for this particular course. And this is kind of a crash course. The main reason we wanted to have this kind of a crash course of 5 hours is this is very focused or a tailored session for the our community, our performance testing community, right? We are not going to be a we don't want to be, or we are not going to be a core automation architect or automation testers. It is more in terms of what is that minimum that is required for us, what is that we can that is something expected out of us. That is the goal of this course, and that is why we have kept it very short and sweet, and with that kind of course content and course fee. So that is the overall objective. Okay, so assuming that we are all performance testers today, right? And we have been doing all these non-functional requirements, scripting, execution, analysis, reporting. Okay, and what next, right? If you want to upskill, or if you wanted to cross skill, or depending upon the expectation from a project, what are the next things to learn, right? So obviously with current agile digital world, there are a lot of things that we can move into or upskill ourselves. The cloud, performance testing in the cloud, DevOps, SRE, SDET, and full stack QA, right? All these things are there up for our grabbing, and we can of course become an SME in the cloud or DevOps or site reliability engineering, or you can be a SDET, where if you are good in Java, good in Python and other programming languages, you can also become an SDET, where you'll do both development and testing together, and then the full stack QA, right? So out of all these things, something is more obvious that we are seeing the today market is the full stack QA. So the cloud and DevOps is something more of extension to our performance testing, right? To do performance testing in cloud, to do performance testing in DevOps, it is more of an extension of what we are going to do. But when it comes to SDET or full stack QA, it is totally different thing, because we have to learn additional skill set. Either you need to develop ourselves into as a programmer, to be more of a SDET, or to be a full stack QA, we have to probably upskill ourselves with the other aspect of the QA. Okay, so as part of the course, our intention is to see how we can become a kind of a full stack QA, right? Again, full stack QA will involve a lot of testing, not only the automation. It involves manual testing, security testing, or multiple other things. So the way we wanted to do is, there is a concept of T-shaped skill set, right? You have a deep knowledge in a particular area, and you also have a wide and broad knowledge on a lot of things. So of course, our deep knowledge is going to be performance testing. We are core performance testers, or core performance engineer, and we're going to be having a deep knowledge on this. That is very much required. Okay, one core area, and then the broader area is going to be, we can pick up the security testing or automation testing or whatever the other aspect of QA. And it's not mandatory to go in depth and learn everything, because our core is going to be always performance testing. Okay, and also the expectation in the agile, in the pod kind of a team structure, where you have to do, there will be only one person or 2%, they have to take care of all the testing, which means this kind of a skill set is something expected. And along with that, we also have a concept of the shift left performance, right? Where we have to do early performance, and with early performance, we might not have our Jmeter scripts or load runner script, and we may have have to go and use the existing automation scripts, with whatever minimal of testing we can do it. Right? And second aspect is your end user experience. Your load testing tool doesn't provide you the complete CX metrics, customer experience metric, and we have to move towards a browser-based testing, or again make use of the existing automation scripts. So both, considering both, right? One, the expectation from today's team structure, where a single or two person have to do multiple things, and also the expectation from our performance community itself to do a shift left performance and end user experience. So to do all these things, it is very important for us to upskill ourselves or cross skill with the automation concepts, automation testing, learn Selenium, which is a widely used and an open source tool, right? From automation, there are a lot of tools and frameworks are available, but at least 70 to 80% of places we are seeing Selenium has been used, or a framework that is based on a Selenium. Okay, so that is the reason we wanted to come up with a course where no way we are going to go in depth and we become an automation expert. No, this is a tailored one, which is something, there's a certain level we can learn, and then be confident on doing this, so that we can easily expand. See, that is how we have designed this course, to a minimal level that is required for our performance testing community to learn, upskill, so that we can perform the desired, expected work in our projects. Okay, fine. So before going into the detailed content of the course, right, just a quick introduction, because we all know the basics of scripting, right? You record, replay, enhance, and have your script ready. And when it comes to performance testing, it is going to be, you have a browser, you have a server, and it is going to be request response based scripting or recording or replaying, right? You capture all the outgoing request and response, and you repeat those or simulate those with the concurrent users. That is how the performance testing tool works. Any tool, Neoload, Jmeter, Load Runner, that is our performance script concept. Okay, but when it comes to automation testing, it is a little different, but concepts at high level, it is going to be still same. You need to record, do some enhancement, and replay it. But only difference is it is not based on HTTP request and HTTP response. It is going to be more from a end user perspective. You click, you submit, you navigate, whatever user action we do it, right? You as an end user, we launch the page, we click an link, we enter text, we submit the button, and then we navigate to various page or various component in a page, right? All these things are user action. So the entire automation testing or your browser-based automation testing is based on this user action. So whatever you click, whatever you navigate, whatever you submit, that is what it is going to get recorded, and you're going to replay it. And of course, there has to be enhancements to make sure it runs smoothly, similar to the way we enhance it for load testing with all these correlation. There is no correlation concept, but there has to be little bit of enhancement has to be done to make sure your scripts are going to be robust. So record, enhance, replay, similar concept, but at the performance level, it is going to be HTTP request and HTTP response. But from automation testing, it is all going to be a user action based scripting. Okay, this is a very high level concept. So we all, as a performance tester, we are very comfortable with all these recording, replaying concept, quite similar, but we are going to see how easy we can learn this thing, and we can be comfortable with these kind of a requirement when it comes to our projects. Okay, so quick view on the schedule or the various topics we are going to cover, right? So I just splitted this into multiple sessions, more from a logical way, but nowhere session it is related to the day 1 or day 2. It's going to be 5 hour spread across, could be a 5 day or 6 day or 7 day, depending upon every day what way we are going to conclude every session. But it's going to be 5 to 6 days is what we are looking for, a 5 hour course. It's going to be a lot, but it is going to be also very focused sessions, and where you'll be able to learn all these things, whatever we have mentioned here. Okay, so we're going to start with the probably from Monday, right? Today is Friday, and after the weekend from Monday, same time, we're going to start with the concepts and basics of automation testing, how Selenium works, more of a basics, and definitely we need to understand how HTML is written, and what are the objects, and a little bit of your document object model and page object model. We'll try to understand what are those. Okay, and then we will look into a couple of important softwares that is required, what kind of setup we have to do it in our laptop, and then we'll start with the recording, right? So we need Chrome drivers, Selenium, your Selenium IDE plugins in the Chrome, couple of jar files, you need a Eclipse. So we will look into all these softwares, how to install the IDEs and the your Chrome drivers, and we'll start the recording with the Selenium IDE. We will try to learn what are the various locators, and then a combination of this IDE Chrome plugin and developer tool. We'll try to understand how are we going to identify those locators that we will be using it for clicking an element or submitting a page. Right. So the session 2 is going to be more of us setting up your softwares, installing it, and then a combination of IDE and developer tool, and then we'll do the script recording. Okay. But again, we'll probably try to use multiple websites. Some could be just a link navigation, some could be a form element. So we'll combination of these things. We'll try to see how the recording is going to work and how IDE is going to work. And then we'll move on to a script development. So we'll try to see how we can export a Java file from the plugin, and how to use it in the Eclipse to create a script, including the dependent jar files for executing the Selenium. And then a similar way, we'll try to see how different scripts we are going to create for different websites. And then we'll move into a script enhancement. Obviously, we would need a certain enhancement to be done to the Selenium script to make it a little robust. We'll see what are the various error handling, exception handling to handle these pop-ups and alerts. And we'll also see how are we going to take screenshots in case of any failures. Okay, and then we'll move on to the execution from Eclipse and generating a jar file, running it as a command line. So more of a execution is going to be from a session 5, and we'll also try to integrate with the JUnit reporting or other reporting format where we can see the output of the execution. Okay, then we'll move on to the some of the important aspect of the performance, how to inject performance related files into the Selenium, right, to get your client side performance. We'll try to understand the concepts of navigation APIs and paint APIs, and then how to execute those JavaScript APIs inside your Selenium script. That is also going to be an important component of this overall session. And then finally, we'll also see how to integrate the Selenium script with our PT tools, right? If at all I wanted to run for a 5 user test or 10 user test or 50 user test, right? With Eclipse, we will be able to run only one user at a time. Right? But if you wanted to run it for same Selenium script for 5 user, 10 user, or small volume, that has to be integrated with Jmeter and load runner, so that we can make use of Jmeter capability, load runner capability to run for concurrent users, but with the same Selenium script. We will not be able to run the hundreds of load, but a small volume of 3, 5, 10 minimal load. We'll try to learn how to do that as well. And every day, last 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we can have a Q&A. And during a session, if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat, or you can put it in the Google Sheet, which we will share it, because since it's going to be a focused crash course, right? In between, it will be difficult to take question and answer. So last 10 minutes, 15 minutes we'll dedicate for that, and you can keep noting the questions in the chat or in the Google Sheet. Okay. Yeah, of course, for the registration, you can reach out to Kumar sir, and the timing is going to be 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay. And I just wanted to show you a couple of things before I ask you to ask any questions, right? So just this Google Drive is something we will provide the access to, so that you will have all the you'll have a sheet where we'll provide the list of software that you can download, these Chrome drivers, Selenium IDEs, or other jar files. We'll also upload the whatever script we are going to create, whatever artifact that we are going to create in the same drive, for which you will get an access once you register. Okay, and this is a Selenium IDE which we will be using it for our recording. So probably I'll just spend just 2-3 minutes to show how are we going to do this, right? Probably I'll go to the Selenium IDE. There's a glimpse of what I'm going to do it from Monday, right? You can just we'll just go to do a new recording. I'll say learning Selenium learning. Okay, and then okay, and I can just say whatever Flipkart. I'll just say Flipkart. I want to record the Flipkart, and then start recording. It is going to launch the browser, and I can do whatever navigation I want. Similar to what we do with LoadRunner also, or Jmeter also, right? I'll just go to mobile. I can go to maybe men t-shirts, and I can go to the cart, and I can do whatever I want, and I'll just go and close this, and then I can go and stop this. So your test name could be Flipkart 1, Flipkart Flip. Okay, and then I'll just save it. And if you see here, it is going to it is saying open, window size, mouse over, click. All these are user action. Whatever I did, right? I clicked, I moved the mouse over, I clicked, I did a mouse over, and then close. So it's capturing all the user actions. Okay, we'll try to see all these, what are all these link text, CSS, all these things we'll try to learn, right? So I create this, and then I can just go and then export this to a Java JUnit script, and I'll export it, right? So it will get downloaded into my. Then I can open this. This is going to be a script which I can import into Eclipse. I can go and do this enhancement. So this is one way of doing it. There are multiple ways, but we are going to make use of the developer tool inspect element. We are going to make use of the IDE, and then generate script, and then we will try to import into the Eclipse. This is one of the perf cell performance related Selenium, right? I told about we will be injecting few of the performance metrics, performance methods, right? So we'll try to execute JavaScripts to get this a couple of important performance metrics. We'll also try to learn all these aspects. So that is how we are going to do it. It's going to be a completely practical, and we will not have, mostly will not have any slides at all. So it's going to be completely, we'll be doing everything on the Selenium IDE or Eclipse, and then running it during these sessions. Okay, so I'll stop here. Okay, there are a couple of questions that is coming in the chat. I'll go one by one. So first question, any limitation in terms of users? Yes, absolutely. This is not meant for load testing at all. Okay, this is meant for a single user performance, or for a very low volume 5 user, 10 user, 15 user test. Why it is required? One, of course, for your end user experience. Browser based testing, it is always going to be one browser per user. You as a user, you will open your browser, you will do something. I as a user, I'll open the browser and I do something. What is my end user experience? For that, one user is more than enough. Second is the objective here is to do a shift left, right? As much as possible, before even you have a Jmeter script or LoadRunner script, is it possible to do any kind of a small volume test? Is it possible to get any kind of an indication of performance? For that, this is going to be useful. Number 3, our objective of full stack QA, where we have to learn automation testing. For that, it is also going to help. So that is the objective, Rekha. Can we get Selenium Java project repo as well? Yes, complete whatever we are going to create that during the session. All these repo will be uploaded to the drive, Pravin. Okay. Fine, super. So I'll mute. If you have any questions, you can put it in the chat, or you can also unmute and ask your questions.
Hello, Sadish.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I have a question. Like, okay, in my project, already we have a Selenium team. Okay, so automation team is there. From performance, some team is there. Okay, so can I do some minimum level of testing from the performance to the automation? For example, we have a CI/CD pipeline. Okay, for the automation. For performance, we don't have a CI/CD pipeline. Okay, so can we make use of this course to do some minimum level of performance testing and add that to the Selenium automation pipeline to add our performance testing also in the pipeline? Minimum level, not load testing or something.
Absolutely.
At least to be right.
Yes. See, if you see that, right, so since you already have a Selenium team, you might not be creating those Selenium scripts. Okay, but the problem is, I'll answer it a two way. One, using the existing automation scripts, yes, since you have that advantage, you can do it. But the other problem with this, they might have created a lot of test cases. Okay, we might not need all the test cases for our performance, which means you may have to strip out a lot of these test cases, and we might need to take only limited set of functionalities. Okay, which means you may have to depend upon the other automation team to do that activity. If you know Selenium, you can also do that by yourself very easily. Importing their project, you can just go and remove the unwanted test cases. You can have your own regression pack. That is number one. Number two, minimal level of response time minimal level of performance is single user performance, your client side performance. Absolutely, you can. The session 7 is going to talk about that. Session 6 is going to talk about that, with which you will be able to measure your client side performance with a single user. And of course, it can be part of the pipeline, and it can provide you the performance evaluation in the pipeline. And for your low volume, say if you wanted to execute it for say 20 user or 50 user, okay, we can integrate that with load runner or Jmeter, and we can again have that integrated load runner within your Jenkins or Jmeter within Jenkins. That is also possible. Only thing is, we will not learn Jenkins here, but with integrating the Selenium for a single user performance and with Jmeter or load runner, it will enable you to run it in the pipeline or as a standalone.
Okay. Yeah. As you mentioned, okay, for example, we have already, there is a Selenium script, right? So all would be comes through browser only. Okay, for example, there may be 1,000 flows. Okay, but for performance, we are going to take some 10 to 20 flows alone, page level, client level performance. Okay, so from our side, we know which is critical to be performance tested. So that part alone we are picked up. Okay, so we can add that in performance metrics to that script, existing script, and we can get the results. Is that correct?
Exactly, absolutely, yes, correct.
Okay, but
yeah.
The metrics we need to give, right? The metrics from the code, from the Selenium part, we need to provide to them.
That is what you would learn. But only thing is, we should not go and give all these things to the automation team. It should be other way around, because then our role is going to get reduced, right? So rather, you go and ask them to share their test cases. You import it, you do this, and you run it, so that it is going to be an additional role or responsibility for you. It should not be other way around. The automation tester will learn performance, and they cannot replace our whatever we do. But objective is for we to take the scripts from automation team and then do the execution.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. So one more question. Java oops concept, no. Again, say I will put it in two way. Java, if you want to learn Java, right, you may have to do a reverse engineering. Don't start with oops concept, theoretical stuff, data structure. We will never land in learning Java. That is from my experience. Do other way around. Write some code in Eclipse. Write some small programs, and then try to see how it is written, and then over the time you will try to write your own programs or your own applications, right? And then you will eventually land up with learning why it is written in such a way, and then you can go and learn OOPS concept. In this course, we will not have time for that. Even if you see, I used to take the engineering course also. Okay, in that we have 2 to 3 sessions in the beginning for a Java. Even in that Java, the way we will do the session is right away go and start some template based programming, create some class, create multiple class, creating an object, and then calling the other methods, and then write some DB connections, write some HTTP connections. That with that, when you start writing programs by yourself, right, it will give you a lot of interest and a lot of confidence, and then you can go and learn why this kind of a code is written for a DB connection, why this kind of a code is written for HTTP connection. Then you can go and search for answers, you will get it, and then that is how at this point of time, if you are a college student or if you're very beginner, we can go and learn all these things. Now with an experienced resource, we have to do it other way around. Even in Selenium also you need Java, right? But again, most of these Selenium scripts enhancement, right, is all template based only. You don't need to go and discover anything at all. Everything is going to be there in the blogs, in the internet. You ask the right questions, you will get the right answer, and it's going to be pretty easy. And that is what we also going to see it, right? How easy it is going to create, enhance, and do the Selenium, because inside Selenium everything is going to be Java, but you don't need to be a Java programmer to do these things. It is absolutely a template based. See, even in load runner we used to write C program, right? I mean, any of us are expert in C? No, right? Similar, it's not exactly similar, because loader is made in such a way that we no need to write any coding at all, apart from few string handling, string concatenation, all these things. But in Selenium you may have to write few code for sure in Java, but again all these things are going to be more of a template based only. So core Java is not required to start writing Selenium script. Over the time you will eventually you will become at least a beginner level of Java, I would say. Okay, so another question is pushing the code to Git and doing CI/CD. See, pushing the code to Git and CI/CD, again, we will not have time. Right, that is a 5-hour. This is 5-hour course, crash course. We will not have time. Pushing it to Git, I think it's simple as you're just going to create some repo and then we are going to commit there. But I will not commit, but we can try to do that if we have time. But yeah, I think we'll CI/CD. No, for Jenkins CI/CD we have a separate course for Jenkins and CI/CD and all. Again, the idea is not to go into various aspects, right? Will not have time. This is very focused on one particular course content, and we'll stick on to that. If possible, the Git thing we will let you know how to do it. Even CI/CD also will just give an hint on how to do it, but exactly will not go into the detail. Okay, it's just that you need to create. Once you create the jar file from Eclipse, right? We can pretty much create a batch file which can be triggered from a Jenkins directly. We'll tell you how to do it, but we'll not go in depth into that. Okay.
Satish, you have missed pre-ask. We have missed pre-ask question, Satish.
Okay, cool. So defects in functional testing. Okay. Overview on what criteria defects are raised in functional testing. Okay, so that is little depends upon the application to application, and then depending upon how critical, whether the defect is going to get impacting your entire application testing, or is it only one flow, depending upon the severity, right? There might be multiple classification. So we'll not go into the functional testing and defect handling. This is completely a technical session. So yeah, we will not go there, Priya. If you have any specific questions, put it in the sheet. I can definitely get you the answers. But during a session, we will not go there. It is completely technical session for automation testing. Okay. Fine. So if you still have any questions, you can just put a message in the WhatsApp group over the weekend. Session is going to start on Monday. So any questions you have, just reach out to me. Regarding the course fees, if you have any questions, you can reach out to Kumar sir, and his number is given here, and he is also there in the WhatsApp group. Okay. So feel free to message if there are any questions, and we will meet on Monday, guys. Okay. Thanks again for taking your time in attending today's session, and hope you all will meet again on Monday. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you all, guys.